Ladies and gentlemen, the implosion has begun. We have the Wade wives. We have everybody literally losing their minds in the Wade Wilson camp, and I will show you this very shortly. But it all began with the first Wade wife, and I'm sure there's plenty more to come. They guess what? They heard the recording. No shit. You know what I mean? The one damning piece of evidence that Jesse clearly didn't want everybody to hear. Um, they heard the recordings about how they're calling some of their biggest supporters Marilyn Manson, calling some of the girls ugly, fat, this, that, and the other. And the backlash is here, ladies and gentlemen. We have a Wade wife completely destroyed. And I'm talking just so hurt about Wade talking so inappropriately about this woman. I mean, I wouldn't really call it inappropriate. I would call it downright evil. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and we're going to check out this interview. Shout out Coral and Dexter because she grabbed this interview. And I know for a fact that this woman she's going to be pissed that I'm covering this topic. But hey, you shouldn't have came out on the internet. The speed in which this came out. Now, I'm not sure. I just heard a piece of it. I'm not sure if they're talking shit about Jesse exclusively or Ari and Jesse, but this is an interview with Coral and Dexter, right? She's a TikToker. This is an interview that she did with one of the quote unquote former Wade wives. And I mean, imagine calling yourself a former Wade Wilson wife or Wade Wilson supporter. Stupid, right? Low on the brain juice. Now, we're going to go ahead and check this out. And I just want you guys to hear this lady's damn voice. It'll tell you most of what you need to know.
Our crew would go up and rally to say, hey, like no one gave you permission to post that. I hate it when people steal my content anyways, but unfortunately.
Uh-oh.
It is social media. People can screen record. I'm not going to do that ever. And I would not make fun of you because I literally just like.
Uh-oh. Well, you know what, sweetheart? Let me rip the Band-Aid off. Not for Coral. For her, for the lady. We'll make fun of you. She won't. And she doesn't really like the screen recording, but it's going to happen she's not going to do it. But ooh, lady. Just wait till I get back. We finna do it. Hold on. Making fun of you. Commencing now. What's up, Benton? How you doing? And I mean, this lady is she's a free fucking roast, bro. You hear her start talking, and it's like, God, fuck. It's like I'm itching to say something about you. Anyways, let's continue.
Trying to get to the bottom because I saw, for the very beginning, you guys were. You were pretty going hard for Wade and the whole team. So I was real confused when you got what did you do? Get kicked out or you left on your own?
No, I totally, after hearing the phone calls yesterday,
After hearing the phone calls yesterday. Now remember, do you guys remember the Air Force girl? Everybody remember her? What's her name? Mindy, Cindy, Crindy, Findy, some shit like that. The Air Force chick. She with the little cute outfit, little pretty face, little cute woman and shit. This is someone related to that.
I completely withdrew all of my conversations and part of the group as Team Wade. And I also sent him a message and her, and I blocked her from all contact.
Okay, so we need the accent simulators for us, man. We need the accent breaker downers. Where is she from? She said something with a hard accent.
I also sent him a message.
A message? Where is she from? A message? Not a message, a message. Where the fuck is she from? Y'all hit me up.
All of my conversations and part of the group as Team Wade. And I also sent him a message and her, and I blocked her from all contact because of the lies, the betrayal that she did to us as Team Wade. We had no clue whatsoever that this was going on.
Now, I just gotta tell you, ma'am, how did you not have any clue? I just gotta ask you the question. If you're so Team Wade, these calls have been going on for months, bro. The calls have been circulating for at least a month and a half. Let's just be like that. Everybody's saying she's old. I don't know if she's old. She doesn't sound old to me. She just sounds slow. These calls have been out for like a month and a half, ma'am. You gotta be slow to not fucking know that rhymes. You gotta be slow to not fucking know. You know what I mean? Like, you're riding for Wade, but you didn't know that this man was playing everybody? Okay.
And when this came out, which was my daughter, which they've accused her of being the only one who really knew who she was. And she was the Air Force individual and put herself on the line for them to.
Oh, Kelly?
Had no idea.
So Kelly's your daughter?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Absolutely.
So now,
So now, if we're really thinking about it, she got her daughter exposed because she roped her daughter into this. Ain't that some shit? People fucking up their lives all the time, folks.
Let's just rewind this back. So you started, who started first? How did you get involved in the beginning?
We both came on board. We both met for breakfast after watching the trial, and we joined this group because of the injustice that was done during the trial.
I mean, look at Coral's face. I mean, you can't make this shit up. I mean, she's getting the interview, but look at her face. I mean, you know when they say a face can't really hold back what they're feeling, there's like two different faces. You know, some people can hold back their feelings, and some people just show that shit flat out on their face. She's showing what she's feeling. You crazy fucking lady. What do you mean the injustice? Look at her face. That's all. Her face is the only response that we need.
To seek legal justice. It was not to prove him innocent or guilty. It was to prove there was injustice done during the trial. And every individual in this country deserves proof.
I'm backing it up 2 seconds.
That there was injustice done during the trial. And every individual in this country deserves a fair trial. I don't care who you are, what you look like, or the matter that they present you. If it were you, would you not request the same?
What are you talking about?
After watching the trial, we saw how the entire trial was unjust.
Ma'am, please shut the fuck up for 2 seconds and explain to us. You said unjust, injustice, and justice not served like at least 4 or 5 times. She is yet to explain to us. Now, I'm always devil's advocate. I'm always here to hear some bullshit. I'm down for it. As long as it makes sense, I'll listen to it. Like, okay, what do you think really happened? Break it down for me. She's not breaking down shit. If you watched the trial, there were what injustices? Please break it down for us. But see, this is why I can't interview none of these people, because I'm finna tell them some shit. Then interview over. So you know what I mean?
I'm biased.
Y'all would get a 9-minute interview out of me, because she would be pissed off at that point and say, "Fuck you, AG."
And So we joined at the very same time for the pursuit of legal justice, not to prove him innocent or guilty. It was for the fact that all of the information did not line up. The timeline did not add up.
The fuck does that mean? Barbara Ann Breen, mod squad of somebody else's channel. I appreciate you so much for the damn 10. Shout out Barbara Ann Breen, man. Shit. These women are a little cray-cray. You think?
The loopholes in the case did not line up. As far as police body camera timeline and putting him at the scene of specific locations did not line up when these crimes were to have been committed.
Now you guys put that together over breakfast?
No, we put after we decided to join his group, that's when we began to dig deep into the case, watch court testimony over and over and over again.
This is some boomer shit, man. Shout out my boomers. Listen, to all my boomers out here, let me tell you something real vital. Something very necessary to the fucking mental health. And it's not all boomers. Hell of my friends are boomers and they know what the fucks. But if you go on Facebook, there is misinformation out the ass, brother and sister. Like, if you go on Facebook, there is so much misinformation. I don't believe anything. I just look at it for entertainment. I really don't use Facebook like that anymore, except for Tiffany Hinyard. But nothing's real. Okay? That's the best thing I can say. Nothing is real. This is what happened. This lady went on Facebook, went on TikTok, went on Instagram and saw one of them bullshit videos that were smashed together with like 100 different facts and was like, oh, he's innocent. He is innocent. That they did something. He is innocent. When it's all just bullshit that they spliced together. I mean, nothing's real online, guys. You have to take everything with a giant boulder of salt. That's why I keep telling my people that. But shit.
Yeah. And watch body cam footage and watch or pull depositions and versus testimony. And it did not equate at all. And there were definitely holes in the case. Without doubt, there are holes in the case.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the guy was telling people he's under the influence of potential bath salts, and then he's also like, the problem is that I have when people say that it doesn't add up is they don't realize, unless you speak like with somebody like Alexis, okay? She physically sat there every single day of the trial. What people don't realize that unless you've been in a major case, there's a lot of information that only gets shared in that court. They're not going to put it on TV. There's families involved. There's victims' families involved. So you're not going to see the actual autopsy photos. You're not going to see all that stuff. A lot of it either gets shared only with the jury, and you get to hear certain things about it because you're live in the court that day. But you hear there's so much that gets left out because you're not physically there. But the problem is people are forgetting that portion of it, and they're like, oh, well, he didn't have this and that. There was enough evidence DNA-wise. When you come out and you confess to something and your DNA is tied and you're able to locate a body that's been missing for 4 days, there's a lot of things where it's like, okay, if his attorneys are court appointed, okay, and I won't even lie that he had shitty attorneys. Okay, yes, they are free. Free is not going to be good attorneys, okay? And
I hate when people say that public defenders are shitty attorneys. I mean, no, I feel like everybody once was a public defender, right? Unless you just were like born into the company or something, or the law firm. But I feel like those guys are simply overworked. They're not shitty attorneys. That's my opinion. I would never get a public defender, clearly. You know, nobody should. But they're not shitty attorneys. They're doing their best. That's what I would say. because the legal system is fucked, guys. They probably have 7 different cases that they're covering. You know, like they just can't do it all.
They literally had the worst of the worst because that's what the state provides, right? That's why you kind of like should have rallied to get a good attorney prior to you walking in. You had 5 years. I mean, he had a couple of attorneys along the way. He should have been trying to get funds to get himself a proper attorney instead of saying yes and agreeing to keep the same ones that were court appointed. And then a lot of the times is people don't realize that like there was just you have to pay, okay, if you're a defense attorney. That's why you pay for these top dollar guys, because they're going to bring in the experts. They're going to pay the money to bring on these expert people. They're going to come and present information. Right now, yes, I think that the cops could have done more, but they really had information, overabundance of documentation and DNA that tied him to both, to where they were like, okay, he confessed. His DNA's here, his DNA's here, and he was saying he's under the influence and blah, blah, blah. Either way, I feel like if the cops would have went in and just did a clean thing, and maybe he had somebody that actually
AG steals my heart. I had to pause it for that one. I love you. I love you guys. Let's continue.
that he paid that would have done a little bit better job. It would have eliminated all the loopholes that people are able to find. But they did gather up a lot of evidence. So if there were to be another trial, they'd present more information because they didn't need to the first time. Because obviously within 4 hours, those 12 jury came back and said guilty across the board. Look at Casey Anthony. That was 22 hours. You go down the list.
They weren't across the board. And can I ask?
She's trying to hammer some sense into this fucking lady. I promise. She's really trying to explain to her. But again, the YouTube has corrupted her. The TikTok, the Facebook, all the little misinformation shit that goes around. She's bit into that shit. You know how pit bulls bite and they don't let go. She's going crazy. She's bitten into it. She can't let go of it, of the stupidity.
Ask you this: how could he possibly? Stephanie left that house at 6 o'clock that morning, and he was seen driving her vehicle at 7:10, and to leave and be at Mila's salon at 7:30, as the Griffith testified. How could he have possibly done what he did and clean himself up, and to do that, do the damage that was done, put her in the bedding, wrap her up, tie her.
Listen, I'm listening. Hold on. He put her in the bedding. Hold on.
Was done, put her in the bedding, wrap her up, tie her up, and then be at Mila's salon at 7:30. He's seen driving at 7:10.
But you're also listening to the evidence that was told to you by somebody who's under the influence. He's the one.
I am going by total deposition from Stephanie. She left the house at 6 a.m. and she hugged Christine and made sure she was okay. And then the police camera that they pulled also notes him driving her vehicle down the street at 7:10. Okay. He is at Mila's salon by a witness with Benson and Associates at 7:30. And then he evades before the police gets there. He is back in Cape Coral in a lady's, she's out picking up pine cones in her front yard at 9:30. And then at almost 10 o'clock, Diane Ruiz texts her, or her friend texts her before 10 o'clock, knowing she had to be at work at 10. And it was raining that day. So she asks her if she needs a ride. She says, no, I am almost there. And then at 10:17, he is back at Fort Myers at Joe's Crab.
He killed her quickly. That's it. What is she even talking about? The timeline matches up. He was okay. 6:30. He's coming. He's at Mila by 7. But he's seen on camera at 7:10. He's at Mila's by 7:30. Okay. Tries to kill Mila, and then he goes and kills another person. How long do you think it takes? I don't know. Let's continue. I'm really trying to hear her breakdown.
Chat. And
So-
then how is that possible for him to possibly do what he did in the small amount of window?
What? That was like 10 minutes? Bro, this is a large man. With 10 minutes with a woman like a small woman? 10 minutes? You could do everything in the world in 10 minutes. Like, what is she talking about? The small amount of time. The dude was geeked up on fucking speed. Of course he would have did that shit quick. That's why it's called speed. Meth. You know what I mean? Or whatever was in the cocaine. Like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro.
That is proven beyond the shadow of a doubt.
Well,
is
I
what
mean,
we're asking you.
It's proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that it took, because it was like a 10-minute, 20-minute interval that he didn't kill her. So I guess it takes me about an hour to kill somebody. You know, I guess it takes an average male to kill someone about an hour. You know, we need at least an hour. We need to prep them, you know, so the meat doesn't go bad. We need to let them be calm, let them explain to them that they're going to die. That's going to take another 15 minutes. Like, what do you this lady needs to fucking do something else with her time, bro. Do something. Go play with your grandkids.
if you look at it from another angle, okay, I'm just saying, aside from that alone, if you are going to say, let's just go back to his theory that he wanted to tell, he was saying that he didn't do, like, that he did it because he was wanting to keep his family safe. Dude has never cared about his family in his entire lifetime. Has he ever?
We're not going by what he said. We're going by.
Oh, and she has that fiery temper. She is older. She's for sure older. She's set in her ways. She doesn't change. And if she believes something, she believes it. Even if it's wrong, she's going to believe it until the fucking grave. I know people like this. I got grandparents. Well, you know, rest in peace. She's not letting go of this. And that anger that's coming out of her, we're going to see that again. That's not going to be the first time. We're definitely going to see that again. If you go against her, that rage is going to come out of her because she's right and no one else is right. No one else. Because she knows. No one else knows.
Dude has never cared about his family in his entire lifetime. Has he ever?
We're not going by what he said. We're going by facts.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying, though, is that his whole thing was he was saying he was set up, that somebody else did this and they set him up. Why the hell would you, on like 3 recordings, admit to doing something per detail that matched up? Besides Diane's, there was some things that he said that did not happen to Diane, that did not line up. But with Christine, it was pretty legit. If everything he said that happened to that girl happened to that girl. The DNA was found. How about that curtain rod? I know you read about the curtain rod.
Absolutely.
That was pretty self-sufficient, like self-explanatory.
It was on one end.
What happened with that curtain rod? His fingerprints are on the other end. And he not only did he brag about it, he bragged about it to the people he was incarcerated with. They came forward and stated he had told them.
So what's your explanation for that? Oh, the trial was just handled wrong. So even though he fucked her with a curtain rod, it's okay? Like, what's your logic? You are stupid. Like, see, there's a difference between being old and being fucking dumb. You know, I just saw this quote. There's like this old man, and he was doing some dumbass shit. He was playing with an electric eel, and he got zapped, and he almost drowned. Old man was like 80 years old, fucking around with an electric eel. And somebody put in the comments, the saddest thing is to see an old man. What was it? Fuck, it was so good. But basically, the saddest thing is to see someone who's old and still fucking dumb. because you should have gained wisdom over them years. She ain't gained shit. She ain't gained nothing but more stupidity. That shit's crazy. I just saw a video and it's like, man, it's a shame to see someone that old and that stupid, because you're supposed to be that old and that wise. Sometimes it does not relate that way. And it damn sure doesn't relate that way for this lady.
Less about
Again, how can you say that they are legit witnesses when they're incarcerated too?
They have no reason to lie. They're just trying to say, hey, this guy is telling me this kind of stuff. So yeah, I believe that. Why would you go and tell me that unless you did it? This guy put his information out there, didn't even care. He said what cell he was in and everything. So that way Wade would know who's the one that told on him, because he obviously had no problem telling other people. Have you heard how casually he just talks about these victims in anytime he's ever brought them up? It's never been he's never shown one remorse for them.
Again, this is not where this was never ever meant to be to prove his guilt or innocence.
What?
This was to bring about the truth.
You just
And
wanted a
there
fair
is
trial. So
more-
your whole point, you and your daughter only wanted to get involved so that way you could try to get him a good attorney to go over the information that you thought was lacking. And
There is more truth than being told in this trial. I promise you.
There's more truth than being told. Like, let me back this up. This is how I know this lady is cooked out of her fucking mind. Look at this shit.
The truth.
You just
And
wanted
there
a
is
fair
sense meant.
She said this is not about whether Wade killed those girls or not. This is about the truth. What? Let's play it.
To prove his guilt. Never.
remorse for them.
Again, this is not where this was never ever meant to be to prove his guilt or innocence. This was to bring about the truth.
I know I'm drinking. But I know I'm not drinking that fucking much, because that made me that made my brain fucking short just now. What does that mean? All right. It's 9%. Maybe. I don't know. 9%ers, they do be kicking. I might be drinking too much.
You just
And
wanted a
there
fair
is
trial. So
more-
your whole point, you and your daughter only wanted to get involved so that way you could try to get him a good attorney to go over the information that you thought was lacking. And
There is more truth than being told in this trial. I promise you. If
Well,
you
I
look
feel like
at
that's in everything, and especially when someone's giving you a full. How many unalived
This lady dropped 20K for sure. This lady dropped 20K for sure. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to hear nothing. She dropped 20, 25. Maybe she dropped 15s in intervals. Maybe it's a grand total of 30. This lady's too fucking invested. You watch too much Law and Crime. You watch too much Law and Order. You watch too much damn Dexter. You need to go outside. Smell the breeze, you know? That'll fucking reset your brain a little bit.
of this
scene where
four
someone
of
confesses
this-
like that? That's what I want you to
four
know. Like think about that, right? That's the reason why, mostly because you're getting 100% confession and multiple times. So that's a lot
But
of the
I'm
times they're like,
telling
hey,
you,
my hands are good because you already told me that you did it, and here's your DNA here, and here's your DNA here. Of course, they're not going to apply the extra resources because it's a pretty slam dunk case. That's why it only took 4 hours. They literally walked in that room and came back out and was like, we saw what we need to see. Most of them wanted the DP for
can
him.
I ask you this in order to do
Please ask
justice for the
Please ask us this question, because this is about to blow our minds away and we're about to see life in a whole new perspective. Just wait for it.
victims, their families, and everybody involved? Is it not legit to seek to hold all of those accountable, whether directly or indirectly involved in this case.
What?
And indirectly means given the drugs, given whatever it may be.
Fuck it. Let's just arrest. Let's arrest Mila. Fuck it. She was indirectly. He took her car, right? Damn it. She was part of it. She was part of. Why don't we arrest Mila? Let's go after her. Let's get her. Let's get her. What are you talking about, ma'am? This lady, man, shit.
Whether they were directly involved, if you look at Josh's deposition versus his actual
93 Films said, yep, Mila gotta go. Type shit. She gotta get the fuck out of here. Take her ass to prison. It was her Hellcat, right? And the man who helped her buy the Hellcat, take his ass to fucking prison. Like, we gotta clean the fucking streets, bro. I don't know what the fuck the police are doing.
testimony, every sentence that came out of his mouth was a lie.
I wouldn't trust Josh's word either. Remember, it's not going to be cut. I agree that there's more that could have been done, but when you hear when you get a freed court-appointed defense, you're not going to get Johnny Cochran. You're not going to get someone that's going to go the extra mile, especially when you say that you did it multiple times. Cochran. Tell the news, tell your girlfriend, know that, and then he's like, "You set me up." Well, I mean, you're on a recorded police line,
which is exactly why we joined this group to get him a fair, some sort of legal representation.
This lady's in the fucking clouds, bro. When was this recorded? This was streamed like, well, no, this was uploaded 4 hours ago, but I think they did this live stream like 17 hours ago. Lady, it's fucking over. You're gonna get him. It's the wrong tense you're using. You should say you tried to get him. Put that shit in the past, because the gonna is not finna happen. Sweetheart. It's fucking hilarious. This lady's dead ass. The funniest part about this whole thing is that she is dead ass serious. Like, she's not playing no games. She's not playing no games. She's serious as fuck.
And that would provide him with proper justice and not be already predetermined. Mm-hmm. His trial was predetermined before he ever walked through that door.
Yep. Type shit.
Even now, so you walked out. So you heard the calls. You said you heard the calls yesterday, and you were just like discuss it and then decided to step out of team. Out of all the work you've done, all of this stuff, like the people I've been into lives where you've been pretty crazy.
I began to catch her and call her last week. I began to call her on her untruths and question her about it, like with the suits. I specifically asked for copies of that live to be sent to me.
Copies of that live. Ma'am, this is how you could tell she don't know what the fuck is going on. Where am I? You know what I mean? What? You know what I mean? Go to the fucking live and watch it. I asked her to send me copies of the live. Yes, the transcripts of the live. Like, ma'am, you're in 2024. Go watch it. Bruh.
On August the 6th, where the raffles, where she did the live and the raffles happened, and copies of the emails that they declined or they said to pass it on or whatever. I got one email back from her, and at that time when I got that one, I specifically told her that gives me no reply where the other person responded. And she said they did not. And I said, I want to see some sort of tracking that you did.
Yeah.
And when she failed to do that, My daughter had already taken a step back after all of her information was released.
No fucking shit. It's called Reddit. Everybody go download Reddit. And if you ever feel like doing something fucking stupid with anything noteworthy, you might end up on Reddit. So, and it's not a nice place. It's not a nice place. There's a lot of mean, smelly people. And they will get all the smelly, shitty things about you and blast it all over the internet. So, ma'am, don't do it again. Prisoners, just don't do it. Because now you end up on AG Tactical with 1,000 people watching and laughing. That's not good. No bueno. No bueno.
And because as an Air Force member, her records are meant to be sealed.
No, fuck that. She's a... I love it.
And they were filed with the court to be sealed. And the clerk is the one that took it upon herself not to seal those records.
Oh, so they didn't seal it. So it's open. So shut the fuck up. Okay, I didn't realize. Okay, the court said fuck you. Oh, damn. Even the court said fuck you? Interesting. So what are we talking about, Grandma? I mean, ma'am. I'm sorry.
And
Well, honestly, at her status, though, she shouldn't have even have involved herself in something that was high profile, especially going. I get what you were trying to say, that you felt this some type of way, but I mean, I don't know why people. Did you look back further of how many attorneys he went through, not speaking to his attorneys, not giving them information to even defend his ass, and he was so nonchalant with about a lot of the things, even when it wasn't making sense. He wasn't wanting to answer anything. He didn't want to talk about anything.
Honestly,
so how do you defend somebody when they don't even want to give you that information whatsoever? You know, like, I just was wondering why your daughter would even put herself in that situation.
Listen, we are a military family.
Listen. We are a military family. See, I told you that rage was going to come out. This is rage. You know what this is? This is 30 years of just disappointment, not getting your way. You know, life. You know, we're all. Listen, life kind of builds up on you, and it kind of stacks. You know what I mean? Depending on, you know, it's kind of how I feel about it. That's rage from life. That's not even about her. It's just if you disagree with her, that fucking, you can feel it. It sends tingles across your body. It's a profound feeling. That's some real old school rage right there. Don't go against that woman too hard because you will feel it. You will feel the wrath.
I just was wondering why your daughter would even put herself in that situation.
But listen, we are a military family. My ex-husband served 29 years.
29. Okay? And that's why he's my ex-husband, because I ran him to insanity. And then he divorced me and married someone who was 20. And now I'm alone. And now I'm fighting for murderers who kill women, and I don't really know what I'm doing anymore.
I am retired at 15. My two girls have been both honorably. We served. Our whole entire family has served, and we stood for justice for all. And we stand for justice for all. But when we are misconstrued at our own expense, and that, I began to question last.
That's it right there, boo. She doesn't smoke weed. That's it right there, boo. Boo, I see you with the comment. If grandma found herself a new hobby, you know what? Listen, if I lived next door to her, say I was doing this YouTube thing and I knew Miss Shirley next door was on that fucking phone call, I'd pull up to Miss Shirley like, yo, check this out. I got this fat ass bunch. Shh, listen to me. Listen to me. Just smoke this with me real quick and let's listen to 2010's 2000's greatest hits, all right? Let's just smoke this shit And let's just listen to that. And tell me how you feel afterwards, okay? Tell me if you feel like talking about Wade or if you want to go play some golf or you want to, you know what I mean? Tell me how you feeling. Grandma just need a little, grandma just need a buddy to be real, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to you.
This week, when I called her out a couple of times and got defensive with me, and I brought it up to my daughter. And she said, talk to her about it. I did. And she got further defensive. And I'm like, those are red flags to me. And my daughter had specifically asked her, what could these calls possibly lead to that hasn't already been up front with you? And she said, I have no clue. I have no idea what they are. She lied.
Well, I mean, didn't she lie the whole time, saying that she wasn't with Wade the whole time? That you guys were in this, like, so
She lied about,
who was
she
in your guys'
lied.
team when you guys first joined with your daughter? Who was in that circle when you first joined?
Jesse.
Jesse.
Ah! Oh man, I didn't expect that one. That's hilarious. Jesse, smack dab there in the middle. Jesse with her insecure ass. Jesse with her suing YouTubers ass. Jesse and her trying to take down videos ass. Jesse with her fucking getting fired from her job ass. Jesse.
Marie.
Jesse, Marie.
Marie was the lead.
Okay, Marie was the lead.
Isn't Jesse
And then Jesse
Marie?
was there too the whole time?
Isn't it Jesse Marie?
Jesse was Marie.
Yeah.
Okay, Jesse. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Jesse. There's so many names in this thing. Jesse was Marie, and then but the whole time she was telling you she was Marie. How about Marion?
That is the lady that donated the suits.
But do you remember that
Oh,
Marion?
that's why he was in those ridiculous ass suits. Remember everybody was questioning during the trial, why is he in these fucking stupid ass Joker ass suits that are like purple, pink, and blue? Like I'm being extra, but like it was hella colors on that shit. Well, there you go. He got donated. Listen, if you're good looking in life, you could go a long way.
was the one that was on the Funly before it was over to Marie.
That is the lady that donated the suits.
But she has nothing else to do with the group. You guys never talked to her or had any interaction with
supposedly her and Wade know Marion. I don't know for a fact whether that's true or not, but supposedly, according to Steve, she was the one that bought the suits from Salvation Army, and Jesse was the one that took care of them. I don't know for a fact, but that is Marion.
So in your circle, though, it was only you guys.
shit.
I thought there was more people to this.
There was a group of 10. There were a group of 5 that were the main key people, and 5 that were putting out fires. And the fires became more than we could handle.
Okay, now it was Candy ever involved? Like his mother, his adoptive mother?
That is through her own daily chats. Yes, she's involved through telephone. Yes, she is.
So you had conversations with Candy yourself?
I did not. That only come from Jesse.
I'm sorry.
We
That's
did
interesting.
not.
So she's been talking to Candy this whole time behind the spot. I mean, I'm wondering what she's gotten her involved in or telling her on that situation. So the whole time you guys went in thinking that she's just helping like you guys, and you didn't think that there was anything more than just her trying to be just like you guys and get him a fair trial?
None whatsoever.
Well, you're stupid.
You never
And
once
we-
talked about him in any other weird way or like made you
No,
feel...
we had no idea that she was using her group to gain notoriety. We had no idea that she was using her group to get funding the way she put him out there for bait and
I will
catfish.
say, her putting them out there for bait was pretty fucking genius. But I mean, someone might end up in jail for doing that. But I mean, it was pretty smart. You have a bunch of fucking morons dying to give money to a fucking killer. There's gotta be somebody there to fill the void, right? Look, listen, supply and demand. You want to give your money away? Shit, we'll create the demand. It's a capitalistic society, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we thrive, in capitalism. I mean, shit, can you blame her? She grew up in the United States of America, damn it. She understands capitalism. Let's continue.
Fished him. There was no clue whatsoever, ever, that we were aware of.
You're just
And when
dumb.
the call came out, yes,
You are just dumb. And you got, listen, it happens every single day. It happens every day. And your car payments and all, you get fucked over so often. And you don't even realize it. I get fucked over often. You know, it's just the way of the world. And you have to understand that it's happening so you don't get caught up. Or you don't get caught up as, you avoid getting caught up as much as fucking possible. Right? This lady is not doing that. She's getting caught the fuck up. Like, you got caught in Jesse's web, sweetie. And I know she's pissed off because she gave hella money. It's the only reason I would be so invested. She lost hella money to this scheme or Wade Wilson support. You're stupid. You're dumb.
yesterday at the second call, I had to abruptly end because I was sick. I was physically sick.
Congrats on 39K. Whoa, we're at 39K?
Now, did you donate money yourself?
I did.
That's
I
a
did.
lot.
See, I thought you wasn't going to ask that question. Coral and Dexter is the shit. Go check her out on TikTok. Listen, she's the only one who has the patience to deal with these deranged, crazy fucking ladies. I don't think anybody else has the patience. Shout out Coral and Dexter because, you know, she slithered her way in there. Now we're going to know how much she donated. Let's go.
Because I was sick. I was physically sick.
Now, did you donate money yourself?
I did.
How much?
I
That's a
did.
lot.
No,
Are you able to get your money back?
How much?
I only did one
How
time.
much? How
but
much?
and it was small
How
because
much?
like I said, I left a 40-year abusive relationship and started over at 62 and moved 1,000 miles away, and the triggers that were brought out yesterday was beyond my capacity to comprehend where her
Will you ask
mind
for your money
was.
back?
I have not even tried.
Because you know that goes directly into her bank account, right? And you heard them calls yesterday. They're not using this money as they say that they're going to be using it for. Everybody's going to be so shocked when they realize that there's literally, when you donate to them and it goes into their bank account, you have to ask them for the money. If they say no, you could try to fight it with your bank, but if it's been a while, the odds of you getting that money back is pretty strong. So you guys would all have to sue them together. But honestly, she could walk away with that money and do nothing that you guys would have put all this time and effort into and fights and
Listen, I wouldn't call myself a prophet or anything, you know? I wouldn't even call myself, you know, I wouldn't call myself a fortune reader or a fortune teller. You don't need to be a prophet, bro. It was so obvious that she was going to take that money. It was so obvious. You're not ever getting dick from Wade. So what's the next best thing for someone as fucked as that? $100,000. I don't know why nobody thought about that. I feel like I was the only one preaching that. I was preaching that months ago. When the Wade Wilson campaign was at $70,000, I said, oh, she's taking that shit. I said flat out, oh, whoever owns that account is taking that shit. The fuck you, like, come on. You have to assume that people are going to be people. They're going to do what people do. And that's rob and steal and take and you know.
arguments with people. I've seen some of your lives where you guys have been like rallying hard for this guy, and honestly, you could tell that he's only his. If you can't hear that call yesterday, I mean, amongst all the other calls, his thoughts process is not. He's never once in any. Let's just bring it there. Never one time in any of those calls has he ever said, "I'm innocent." He said, "We're gonna fight. We're gonna do this. You're gonna get me money. I need an attorney. I need this. I need kiosk money. I need honey buns." He's never once in any of the, I don't even know how many calls we've had this far, but a lot, has he ever said, "I'm innocent. I don't belong to be here. Fight for me."
I'll actually refute that evidence with my own, and I'll say that he did say he was innocent in a fucking news interview. But, you know, it doesn't really matter, to be honest.
I need to get out. He's never one time said that. So I just want to throw that out there because
But
if I'm innocent, I'm going to go in there and preach it to everybody who picks up that phone.
At this point, it's the betrayal that she did and the master manipulator.
So it's not about him being guilty or not. It's about the betrayal. Okay, no. See, we're talking about the wrong thing. Simple miscommunication. I thought we were just fucking talking about him being guilty or not, but no, it's about the betrayal. It's about the betrayal. We're on the wrong topic. You know what I'm saying? This lady doesn't have dementia. She's just stubborn. And when she's wrong, she can't admit it.
That she is, because for her to go in with this mastermind and to sit and make fun as her sister is on the couch making fun of the huge donor.
Yep.
And how ugly she is.
Called her ugly bitch.
I am sorry. There are no words there's no words ever to take that back. Ever.
Well, I don't think that it wasn't even like, to me, it just like, she's very insecure girl. You could tell. So I feel like she just had to, she had to say that, like, because if he's not sitting there saying she's ugly, then then Jesse feels insecure.
Now I will agree with her on this. Wade went hard on, what was it? He said she was even uglier than Kelly. Okay, sure, okay. Wade does do that. He does do that to pump Jesse up because he knows Jesse's a insecure little fucking beetle over there just on the wall, just scared of everything, scared of women taking her man. He knows that. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, even an idiot like Wade Wilson can figure that out. So he does play extra into, oh, she's fucking ugly. Oh, she looks like Marilyn Manson. Oh, this, that, and the other. He definitely does do that to pump her up because Jesse is the most insecure. Imagine having that insecure piece of shit as a wife or a girlfriend. It's not a good existence.
So I feel like he's bashed everybody. He's bashed every victim or person and every.
You have no idea how many hours we spent on the phone with her, telling her when the calls came out from June and July that all of these calls and the fact that he was telling each and every one how much he loved her and he wanted to marry her. We both said there is no way in hell you should ever lose who you are or your own identity for the sake of someone else. Ever.
Hey, if there's anything deep that this woman ever said, is that. Yes, ma'am. I agree. Don't lose shit. You start, yep. You know what they say? Everybody has some wisdom to grant you, even if they're stupid, even if they're not the wisest person. Everybody can give you something. Everybody can give you something that you can take in life and that will benefit you. And it will be beneficial to you, even if that person's not living a beneficial life to themselves. And that word of knowledge right there, yep, I feel that.
Lose who you are or your own identity for the sake of someone
You
else.
gotta be you, bro. You gotta be you. You gotta be you. You change yourself for the lady. You change yourself because you had a kid with her. You just change, and now you're miserable for the rest of your life. That's some true shit. That's some real shit right there. Everything else discard, but that's some real shit.
Ever.
Did you know that
Ever.
the Fundly money was attached to Jesse's bank account?
Had no idea because when it all started out, it was Marion.
So, but you never talked to Marion. Only Jesse.
I
talked
have
to her.
never talked to Marion.
So in the group, as you left it, who's still standing? Because I know
I
I saw.
have no idea.
How
I
about
have
V?
no,
Have you talked to V? The person.
no. As
I
a
know
matter
she
of
was told
fact, V,
Listen, I don't want to call myself a prophet, but I told you this shit would implode within a couple of months. I didn't think it would implode this soon. It's like Ocean Gate. They're just imploded. The whole fucking Wade Wilson fucking phenomenon. We're running out of content, folks. We're in trouble because they're not gonna last long. We finna run out of content. We finna run out of the Wade Wilson content, folks. I'm sad to tell you that we're in the final season of the Wade Wilson shenanigans. This is the season finale. I don't know what's going to come of the season finale, but we are for sure in the finale, folks. Crazy. It's been a good run. Salute to everybody, man. It's been a good run.
reached out to me yesterday concerned over Jesse's well-being and trying to contact her. And she did talk to my daughter, but and her husband was being called up to fight. And V has many other concerns other than the drama going on here.
Now, when did you get involved with Team Wade?
1st of August.
1st of August. Okay, so, wow, pretty much right after. Right before that, when was the sentencing? Sentencing was
August 27th.
And so you started right in between that, right before the sentencing part, and like right in the beginning.
Right.
Okay, so you got involved there, and now what did you like? How did you decide? Like, I'm confused at how that works. You guys are sitting down, you're talking about it, and then like, how do you find Team Wade, or how did you get involved with these people? Was there like a secret network? Like, how did you find who to contact?
No, it all started with Shannon, and Shannon reached out because she was stationed at the same base where my daughter was. And Shannon reached out to my daughter. We had already watched the trial. While sitting at the pool, we watched the trial go on. And then Shannon reached out to my daughter and was talking about the case and whether or not she would be interested, because my daughter had already discovered some of the, like the GoFundMe account and the initial GoFunding page or whatever that was supposed to happen. There were red flags. So when she brought it to light, it was brought about, would you be willing to talk with him? And she said, I'm open to that. And only for legal justice. I'm married. I have 2 children. And her husband knew. He has been updated all along. We have had lunches discussing this case. She
keeps going back to the fucking lunches, bro. I don't give a fuck that you ate your fucking Caesar salad at a decent 3-star restaurant. The fuck you mean? I don't give a fuck about you. You had lunches? Oh my god. Is that the only outing you've had in a long time? Like, the fuck are you talking about?
He saw the same thing that we did. It happens every day where there's injustice done.
That's true. That does happen every day. I mean, I don't see, in this case, I don't see it, but I'm not here to judge anybody. But when it came down to it, like, okay, so who are you? You only directly worked with Jesse?
It was the group.
So
We
it was
are
a group chat. And you were
as a
just chatting with random
group.
people. You didn't know who they were.
Correct.
So you're trusting to take these people's words serious without even knowing who they are at all.
Well, they're supposed to be.
I mean, she's really nice. Coral is a nice woman. She is a very nice woman, because I would not. Again, the interview would have lasted 9 minutes.
Talked to and evaluate or whatever by both him and her. I have no idea whether that's the fact or not, but it was all done through a network,
That was a crazy jump scare.
and we all chat, we all report through one channel. All of the insulting threats we have physically, and it has been claimed that the
Threats.
physical threat that or the attack that occurred for one of our members was not legit. It was legit. She withdrew from the team because of that. She was physically harmed,
How?
had to have stitches. It resulted in bruises. She went to the hospital because she was attacked outside of her apartment complex.
Now, that's what we don't want. Granted that that's true. I don't know if this lady, we don't know what's true coming out of this lady's mouth. So let's be real. It could be a load of fucking horse shit. But that being said, if she was hurt, we don't want that, man. This is all fun and games. Come on, the guy's in jail. We don't need to be assaulting no. Like these, listen, they have it hard enough being stupid. Like the world is already hostile enough to them. Being a moron actually kind of hurts because you hit your head a lot and you get bruises on your head very often. You know what I'm saying? So we don't need nobody out here fucking with these people.
For supporting him.
Now you
And
saw the physical pictures and police report and all
Yes,
that?
we do.
Exactly. This could be a load of horse shit, which I believe it is. But in the rare case, it could be real. We don't want that, folks. Everybody be civil if you live close to these people.
Yes, we do.
Because I never saw any sort of proof, so it didn't sound like legit.
Yes,
to me. I
we-
was like,
we
well,
have
it
it
sounds very
all.
convenient for Jesse to drop that now.
No, we have all of the pictures, the police report, everything. And the actual death threats that have been made on us. And that was why it became so overwhelming last Monday with all of the information coming out that we had no choice but to withdraw at all for our own public safety and our own personal safety, for our families.
It's called not being a fucking dumbass on the internet. Maybe she learned a good lesson. Withdrawing is the best option. You should have never engaged in the first place. You fucking moron.
Because these people, I can guarantee you, know where we live. So we withdrew, and in preparation for yesterday, and I had no idea it was going back to social media yesterday. She had no kind of...
You know the saying, ignorance is bliss? That doesn't apply in this situation.
She did not relay any sort of that information to us at all. And so when I sent over some slides to be reviewed, it came out that please flag any information about my sister that you see. Her name is such and such. She already knew the calls were coming out yesterday, but she did not say that.
Yes, because wait, there's more calls coming. So buckle up, because if you thought those were bad, we wait for the grand finale, because you're going to be very appalled that you even signed up with this group once you hear more that's coming down the pipeline. That's why she wants those calls removed. That's why she's trying to do all these things.
Again, I told you, she's probably going to cover it. She sued these people. And you know why? It's because YouTube Streets. Go shout them out. Go subscribe to them. YouTube Streets, I do more commentary, and I cover like a vast majority of topics. But YouTube Streets kind of does the same thing, but his channel is more of an uncovering channel, more of an expose type of channel. You know what I'm saying? He goes in and he starts to expose the shit that's not really known on the internet yet. So I was always wondering, why did Jessie go after him? You know, of all people, she did go after Jumpsuit Pablo, but she didn't go for phone calls from prison, and she didn't go for AG Tactical. Why is that? It's the channels that are exposing her the most. It's not, she doesn't go by clout. She doesn't go by numbers. She goes by what's being exposed, because she knows that that's going to spread like wildfire. So she does the whole court thing just to get the video taken down. She's not going to get anything out of it. They're going to reject it. But just for that brief moment of time, she could breathe. Nobody can see this video. And then the video goes back up. And then AG Tactical does a video. And then somebody else does a video. You know what I'm saying? That's what's happening.
Because she knows like, this is something she can't do. Now, did you guys group discuss the cease and desist letters? Because that was a little crazy that she sent those out her personally.
No, not at all.
She was scared.
So you didn't know that she was behind the scenes sending out people, signing her name and sending them to...
I can promise you the betrayal that I am speaking of, as far as who she represented herself as, is not the same person that we spent many hours on the phone with, talking her through situations. I can promise you that.
This lady's
So,
she's
yeah, I mean,
lost in the sauce, man. Let's go to our good old fashioned. Let's go to a good old word from Gucci Mane. Every time you get lost in the sauce, sometimes you just gotta go to the good old fashioned fat Gucci Mane.
So if you don't got no sauce, then you're lost. But you can also get lost in the sauce.
You can get how you get lost in the sauce?
Man, a bitch gonna get lost in the sauce, man. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, man.
Just a typical person who got lost in the sauce, man. Simple, typical. It be happening, bro.
I mean, obviously, it's not. It's just if you could pull together from yesterday, they're definitely a duo. She just pulled the wolves over a lot of people's eyes, and she's definitely doing the manipulation. And you heard it. She's trying to find any way to scam people out of money, like all these different things, any possible way to get any sort of funds. I promise you that's going to be in for like a real big treat soon enough. We're almost there with it, but like there's a lot more going on, and I feel like anybody that has stepped up into pro Wade is really going to be upset with themselves because they didn't see what was going on in front of them, because you guys chose to believe this person. And I mean, I figured you would have walked away as soon as you found out that Marie was Jessie, because like that alone is like, hey, I'm trying to help you and your daughter, and with your guys' stature and being in the military, you would think that she would at least be honest with you guys. And
we kind of understood that because we all went in with the same mindset to use our made-up alias name for our own protection. And when posting, especially when you look at how bad the haters were.
Now she sounds a little drunk. It sounds like her tongue is kind of flapping a little bit. You guys hear that? Hold on.
And when posting, especially when you look.
Especially. You hear that? You hear that? That especially? Yeah. You start fucking up your S's when you're fucked up. Just saying.
Look at how bad the haters were before. When all the trial was done and how bad the haters were before, and just coming on board to support him. It was obvious we had to protect ourselves.
Oh,
But whenever it came out that that's who she was and she was his fiance, we were both like, that's a stupid decision that you made. A very stupid decision.
Ooh.
But she's not the only person, though, right? There's two parties involved. Are you blaming her as equally as Wade? Because you heard the call. It's both of them. It's not just her.
They both are, but she's more of a manipulator than he is.
She does sound like, I think, the meds kicking in.
What?
Yes. Listen to
explain
yesterday's.
how she's more of a manipulator, because have you heard every call? Because that's what all he's doing is manipulating people to get what he wants. He's telling them stuff. Look, he's every single one. How about Haley? April?
Well,
that was part of your guys' team too.
I agree. All of the calls is for his own personal gain.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
that's all I wanted you to say there, because I just have heard you on a couple
and
lives
I will never
where you're
argue
like
that
discrediting like people like Kelly or people like Mila when they were true victims. Whether people want to believe it or not, they literally were victims. Like, definitely are lucky to be alive and have physically been hurt and essayed. And I feel like that's a hard thing for me every time. And I think that's why I'm so passionate, because just like you, I've had traumas too, and I can never support like this. Aside from him, the unalivings, he had never treated women right his entire lifetime.
Exactly.
He has never been good to females. There's
Exactly. There it is. And you know why? Because he don't like females. That's why he's so bad to them. Just saying.
One person was Courtney, and she dated him for like a blink of an eye, so it doesn't count to me.
Absolutely.
So I look at it like that. It's like, why even aside from that, you want to give him a fair trial, okay, whatever. But then you're still like, it's just not like it discrediting these women that have physically been assaulted, or to back up and support somebody that has always been toxic. I just don't. I
would never come in from a 40-year marriage that was toxic and very, very, very unhealthy. I'm telling you, I would never, ever support that type of abuse. And I did not I looked strictly at the trial. I did not go into personal relationships. That's none of my business.
You didn't go back to his past records to see what kind of person you were dealing with?
Hey, do we not all have past records?
I mean, I don't have essays piled up in my list and assaulting women in there, and then get accused of unaliving two women that were brutal and assault like. No, that's not part of my history. So it's like, okay, I get picked up for something, and that's the thing. I was fighting. I was a fighter my whole life, and then every time I got arrested multiple times for fighting, I fight somebody, I hit them, and they hit their head, and I'm like, I didn't do it. And you're looking at me like, okay, well, you have a whole history of it. Everything's lined up. Your knuckles are bloody. So you didn't do this. Like, no matter what, you should automatically in your brain think, okay, well, he has a past history of assaulting women in the same fashion. What happened to Christine, that's a repetitive form from his victims. Now, this one just happened to lose her life, unfortunately, over it. And that's where I'm like, why is people not looking at things that he physically did to other women before and see that each time he was progressively worse with each person?
Yep.
And that's why I say, whether indirectly or directly involved, there are more that should be held accountable. And if Jason gave him the bath salts or whatever, that is a indirect link.
No, leave Jason out of this. So again, she's trying to get other people arrested. She wants to let's get Mila again. Let's arrest her crazy ass for being assaulted. Fuck Mila. Why would she be assaulted by Wade? Number one. And number two, why would she let him drive her car? Number two. So she needs to be arrested. You know, that's her logic. Let's get Mila. Let's get the guy who gave him drugs. Let's even get the woman who survived, who was there, the little friend. She needs to go to jail because she saw him with Wade. I mean, she saw her with Wade, right? The lady is detached from reality. Like she's had too much. The pills are mixing with the alcohol. The vodka is mixing with the pills right now. Not gonna lie to you. And listen, this lady drinks vodka. I bet $100 on it. Any one of you YouTube researcher, Redditors, prove me wrong. Go into her trash or something. She's a vodka drinker.
To the crime, despite whatever.
So you want him held accountable as well, just because he's the one that just gave him. So I see what you're saying there. Now, is Jesse still involved? Like, or she stepped down, like they said? Because
I don't
think she
know.
wrote that
I'm
letter
no
today.
longer. I am no longer part. I have spent the day reading and getting back to my regular life.
So you dropped
I'm getting back to my regular life. She's fucked. She's fucked up. She's fucked up. What can I tell you?
I am no longer part. I have spent the day reading and getting back to my regular life. Day reading and getting back to my regular life. The day reading and getting back to my regular life. The day reading and getting back to my regular life.
That needs to be added to the Urban Dictionary for vodka talk. That's vodka vocabulary right there.
So you dropped researching it and everything over this whole thing, like all the arguments you got in with people and everything else. Like you are literally one of the ones that went hard. And when you're in the lives, I saw you in a couple.
I am done. I am done. I sent Courtney an apology today to apologize to her, and I am done.
So you're done. And you apologize to Jesse?
No.
Oh,
Why?
you sent all your apologies to people that you felt that you needed to apologize to.
Yes.
Okay, well that's good. At least it said sorry to people that you know, because now you're realizing that a lot of the things that people were trying to tell you, you're seeing now for yourself. Trust me when I tell you, there's going to be a lot more coming in, and you're going to be even more disgusted than you are now. So that's something definitely. Now I want to ask you a very big question out of all respect. Okay.
Of all respect,
I do
please.
have Steve that wants to respectfully talk to you, and that's Wade's biological father.
Oh God.
So can I bring him on so he
Oh,
can talk to you?
Christ.
He said he'll be very respectful.
Oh no.
I will not
He'll be respectful too. Damn it. Let me see. Did Steve join? Oh. He joined. Get the fuck out of here. Let's go, Steve.
take any sort of attacks.
Yeah, listen, I haven't attacked you, right? We've had a constructive conversation back and forth.
Nah, it's vodka vocabulary. There you go. And I'm not attacking nobody who drinks vodka, but I promise you she's drinking vodka. It's a certain type of high. I don't know. She's a vodka drinker for sure. Because logic stops being logic to you. It's something about vodka. It's just like the logic turns into illogical things. And then everything that's illogical becomes logic. That's what I've been noticing about the vodka drinkers. I mean, shout out my vodka folks, man. But I'm just saying, I be seeing that shit.
Forth. I've let you say your piece. I say my piece, and we kind of collectively talk about it. That's the same thing. Have you heard Steve? He's really not an aggressive person. He's actually more
He's a cool
mellow
guy.
than most of us.
He's a chill bro. He's a
I
bro.
wouldn't even bring him on here if I thought for 1 second he was going to be rude. But I definitely, he definitely wanted to talk to you. And since this is probably going to be his only opportunity, I wanted to give you ask you if that would be okay.
If
You
it
can always back
begins,
out if you feel disrespected, okay? We have
All
the
right.
chat turned off for you. We're making it as pleasant as possible, but that way we could just move on beyond what we've already been at, right? We've already kind of like, you've already made yourself well known and established. And so I feel like now it's just like, now you're making amends of like, hey, I said sorry to who I needed to. Now you're getting your story out of the truth. And so now, you know, he wants to just say that, and now we could close that portion off, and now you can move on with your life, right?
thank you.
Okay, so
Let's
hold
go.
on
Let's
one
get 'em.
second.
Let's
Let me
get
bring
'em.
him on.
Let's get him.
They'll be very respectful.
Let's grab him in. All right, bet.
I think you're used to Courtney's lives. We don't have disrespect and crazy chaos up in here. It's very, very calm up in these rooms.
When I get called one of the crazy, what is it?
Oh, but yeah, but I haven't called you anything. So I mean, maybe somebody else from a different live might have called you stuff. I don't.
No,
I've never
I'm one
personally
of the
talked to you.
gold-
Yeah, you know the AG live. We were calling you a bunch of stuff, so don't come over here. Shit, if you see the black and the silver AG, just don't go there. Just don't click it because you finna have your feelings hurt.
girls. You know, I'm not a golden girl. I'm only 68.
68. Man, I think you're the oldest Wade supporter.
Age has no number. Age does not mean
Age has no number. Think about that statement. Age has no number. Huh? What? Where am I?
Wade supporter.
age has no number. Age does not mean anything in a fact of life.
I mean, that's what R. Kelly said too, but I'm saying. But anyways, I do want to bring Steve on because Steve definitely wanted to say a couple things respectfully, right, Steve? Are you here?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay, you're here. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. What was your name, ma'am? I'm sorry.
Oh, all right.
I am Debbie.
This is not finna go good, bro. This is not finna. This is not finna go well. What was your name, ma'am? I'm sorry. I don't know, bro. I don't think this is really gonna go well.
Debbie. Thank you for your service, Debbie, and I thank your family as well. So with this situation and you looking back now, do you see anything that you could have done differently?
Absolutely. I would have never involved myself.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I respect you for involving yourself, but you know, this could be a good lesson in the future to maybe
Steve, chill, bro. Chill, bro. Chill.
look into things a little bit more and not be so trustworthy of people you don't know. Would you agree with that?
We didn't look at individuals. We looked at what was presented for fact.
Yeah. Well, I will say this, and I'm not upset with you, but you did look at individuals. I mean, there were some pretty gnarly things posted and said, you know, about people's personal lives. And I understand why you did that, but you know, it doesn't feel the same when it's directed at you.
Listen, Coral, stop doing that shit. She's over here. Listen, Coral has been very professional through this entire interview, and we appreciate her. And she is trying to hold that shit together. I promise you. Coral's over here. Listen, and I know there's people in her house, and you know what I'm saying? Listen, she's trying to keep it together. That's all I'm saying.
Lives, and I understand why you did that, but you know, it doesn't feel the same when it's directed at you, does it?
Can I say that you're saying that I did that specifically?
No. I don't mean you, but when you go under an umbrella as Team Wade, once you join that team, anything that team does is a reflection of you. You don't agree with that?
I totally understand where you're coming from,
Okay.
but
Well-
also you have to understand when that team is misguided from the
Right.
very beginning about the truth
That wrath is coming.
and not being informed, you can't say that we legitimately knew all that was being put out.
Yeah. I mean, you may not have known just because you were also being deceived, but in the eyes of, say, public opinion, you know, when you lump yourself into a group like that, you get judged just the same as everybody else. I mean, I'm not saying that's fair, but that's my opinion, you know?
And exactly the way yours is. You've
Right,
been
well-
judged, whether it's right or whether it's wrong. You have been cast upon, and whether it's truth or whether it's not.
Well, I'll say this. There's a difference, okay? I didn't ask to be put in this situation. I was forced into this situation and I chose to do what I did. You chose to be in that situation and everybody else chose to be in it. And because you were deceived in the process, now this is where we're at now. I wanted to ask you real quick. 3 years ago, on August 1st, do you remember exactly what time you walked out of your house?
Absolutely.
You remember?
Absolutely. Steve, you can't get me with these tricks. 3 years ago at 11 p.m. and 30 seconds, I walked out of my house and I went to Walmart. And I got 2 packs of white t-shirts and some grape juice. I know exactly what I did at 11 p.m. at 3 o'clock. Come on, lady. Get the fuck out of here. Let's back this. Come on, ma'am. That was a rhetorical question. Obviously, the answer is always going to be no. Guys, May 26th, 3 p.m. evening time. Where the fuck were you? Where were you? Where were you? Put it in the comments right now. May 26th, 2024, 3 p.m. Where the fuck were you?
Do you remember exactly what time you walked out of your house?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Everybody in the comments, you better say you absolutely know where you were on May 26th at 3 p.m.
3 years ago, what time you left your house?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because
Wow.
August the 3rd.
Put absolutely in the chat, bro. I don't want to hear nothing else. Put absolutely.
August 1st, 3 years ago, what time you left your house?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Because
wow.
August the 3rd is my birthday, and I
Okay.
knew exactly where I was and what I was doing.
That's awesome. How about
That's
March
amazing.
22nd?
That's
3
amazing.
years ago.
I would have to go back and look at my journal.
I understand, but the reason I'm asking you that is I'm not sure how I've learned a lot in this process.
Yeah, that's that absolute vodka. That's why she said absolutely. You know that absolute vodka? That's why she said that shit. Yup, type shit.
A deposition, just so you know, when this situation happened, the first deposition that was done, say, on me personally, was a few years after this incident happened. But I mean, for me, I remember every part of it just because of the closeness of it to me on a personal level. But when you take somebody who's gone through something traumatic, I'm talking about Christine's friend, okay? I'm not talking about nobody else. When you take somebody who has been in life-changing situation, and they probably have a lot of grief. They probably have a lot of guilt. They probably have a lot of emotions that you and I probably can't relate with. And then several years later, they're asked to retell the story. And how a deposition works, when they investigate something, okay, sure, they rely on those depositions, but the deposition is just a detail of times, dates, what happened on that day. They don't really, of course they use that, but they also understand that there's been a great amount of time that's passed. They also understand that it's a traumatic event. So they do use it, but what they mainly rely on is evidence. That's what they go off of. And I understand that you guys watched the whole trial. But like Coral said, there's so many things. The only part of the trial you saw is when the jury was in the courtroom. There were multiple conversations, multiple motions that get filed when the jury's not.
I hate TikTok, bro. Every time somebody donates, it's a fucking rose or a fucking baseball home run or a damn galaxy. It's like, why can't it just be dollars? Like, just, anyways, shout out TikTok.
In the courtroom, and the things that were discussed away from the jury, they're not brought out, publicly. So just like, for instance, the visitation that was just released with Wade and myself, that wasn't used in court.
She bounced out.
What's that?
She left.
Oh, she left.
Oh, she.
Whoa. Hold on. What? Wait. She said, listen here, Mr. Steve. Fuck you. You're hitting me with too much logic. Me and logic don't go together. It's like oil and water. Fuck you. I'm out.
But they also understand that there's been a great amount of time that's passed. They also understand that it's a traumatic event. So they do use it, but what they mainly rely on is evidence. That's what they go off of. And I understand that you guys watched the whole trial. But like Coral said, there's so many things. The only part of the trial you saw is when the jury was in the courtroom. There were multiple conversations, multiple motions that get filed when the jury's not in the courtroom. And the things that were discussed away from the jury, they're not brought out, publicly. So just like, for instance, the visitation that was just released with Wade and myself, that wasn't used in court.
She bounced out.
What's that?
She left.
Oh, she tapped out.
She tapped out. I thought you were very respectful. I mean,
absolutely. But I'm gonna jump off of here because I pulled off the road. I'm trying to get home, so
you literally pulled off the road to talk to her.
Oh yeah. I was driving through Orlando on
I
I-4.
was trying to get some key pieces of information. I don't know where she went, but I thought it was very respectful. I don't know what the issue was with her not answering the questions. Like, I feel like, okay, after everything that she put everybody through and this all the different things, I've heard her literally physically threaten people or yelling at people, and I have a bunch of questions. You could turn the chat back on, unless she's kind of behind. No, she's not. Somebody else is. But yeah, I wanted to ask her a couple more questions myself. We didn't even get to the really cool ones. Like, I wanted to find out if she actually watched that interrogation with you and your son. Did she watch that portion?
Well, I don't know.
She said that it just yesterday, listening to those calls is what made her change her mind. I mean, I feel like there was a lot more calls that would have made me change my mind. Yeah,
Well, and I think everybody needs to understand there's going to be a lot more of those conversations with those people, and that's okay. I respect her saying what she said and owning, where she maybe came short in this whole situation. But I think, all this extra stuff, there has to be, it can't just be, I
She lost
messed up.
connection, they said.
Oh,
So she
okay.
didn't
Well,
dip out.
Jim said she comes back, so I don't know. We'll see. It looks like she left for real though.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. No, the lady just lost connection. They said it was
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe that's what happened. I don't want to just think
Guys, you were in middle talking, and I think that you were being very respectful, so I didn't see why she would leave. Because I've seen her like, I know, Dr. Ajem, as soon as she said that she had the same birthday as us, I'm like,
oh, it's Dr. Jim. What? A Jim out here. Stop playing with him.
oh, Dr. Ajem, as soon as she said that she had the same birthday as us, I'm like,
Well, listen, I'm going to jump off of here. I just want to say something real quick. Fuck you, Jesse. Fuck you, Jesse.
wait, one more thing.
One more thing. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Anyways, folks, that's pretty much it, man. It was lit today. You guys are the shit. I did not expect a Wade wife to lash out that fast, but yeah, she sure did. She lashed out. And she thought she had the last word, but listen, the only person who had the last word was the brand maker of the vodka that you're drinking, because you were fucked up this whole interview. So I will point that out. She was feeling good. She was feeling good. Yeah. But anyways, people, I love you guys, man. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. We're gonna have some more shit to deal with. We got some more information we gotta go through, but I needed to bring this to you guys because, listen, I mean, I saw this morning and I was like, yeah. I had plans for something else, but I was like, yeah, we're gonna have to cover this now.